Good afternoon. Today we're going to learn about this venturi meter and orifice and some notches and also the vanes. So these are the different experiments that we are going to carry out in the part A. Whereas in case of part B, we learn we learn about the fluid machines. So before that, in the part A, some flow measuring devices we are going to learn. Among them, this is one, that is venturi meter. And in this experiment, the main intention of carrying out this experiment is to, as I have already written, to determine the coefficient of discharge of the fluid. So in this, before carry out the experiment. So let us have a look over this the tabular column. In this tabular column, I have written here what is the type of opening. So the experiment what you are going to conduct, it can be either carried out with the valve opening half, or you can carry out the same experiment by opening full valve. So that is why I have written the type of opening. It might be even the half valve or full valve. And once you switch on, what happens? The water rushes through the pipe, and the known quantity of water, how much it is flowing through the tube, that we are not sure. To know that, what we have to do is, so there is a flow measuring device, that is a rotometer. So rotometer is one in which what is this amount of quantity of water which is flowing through the tube, that we can fix it. So that is what I have written here. What is that? It might be the valve, the little when you open, so it made the water 15 lpm, nothing but the 15 liters per minute or 20 liters per minute. Likewise, you can carry out 3 to 4, take down 3 to 4 readings while conducting the experiment. So in that, what and all that we are going to register at the time of experiment. So first, in the manometer, we are going to note down the rise in water level. It might be H1 or it might, so it is H1, and on the other side it is H2. This, what is that, the difference of this H1 and H2, we get the, the manometric head. That manometric head, how do we get it? First we need to notice what is the rise of water level in the manometer, so that on the either side, that H1 and H2 you have to take, and once you take down that, the difference will give you the manometric head. And after that, the water, when you allow through the pipe, it has to be discharged in the collecting tank. Okay, it has to be discharged in the collecting tank, and so attached to that collecting tank there is a a scale is fixed. So in which you can, what is the amount of water which is collected when it is allowed to discharge in the collecting tank. So what is the time taken for the rise of water level, that we can note down. Say about for 10 centimeters, you can take down for each rise of 10 centimeter water level, that you can note down the time. So that you have to write down here, time taken in seconds. Okay. And to find out the main, the main thing, what is that we are supposed to find out? Coefficient of discharge. To find out the coefficient of discharge, we need to know what is the Q actual discharge and theoretical discharge. So the ratio of Q actual by Q theoretical will give you the coefficient of discharge. What we have to do to find out the coefficient of discharge of the fluid, we need to know the ratio of Q actual by Q theoretical. Now, how do you find out that Q actual and Q theoretical? So, in this Q actual, what is that? A into R by T. What is that A? This A indicates the area of the collecting tank, and R indicates the rise in water level for 10 centimeters, and the T indicates the rise of water level taken for the rise of water level in the collecting tank. So that is Q actual, and Q theoretical it is given by Q theoretical equals A1 into A2 and a square root of 2GH and divided by and the square root of A1 square minus A2 square. Then A1 and A2 are the, what is that? The tube through which the pipe size indicates the pipe size of the inlet and what is that? Outlet of the pipe area, that is D1 and D2. Once you know the D1 and D2, you can find out the A1, A2. So what is that A1 equals pi D1 square by 2, pi D1 square by 4. Similarly, A2 is pi D2 square by 4. So, and we know that to find out this water head, that is capital H if you want to find out, we have H equals small h into Sm by Sw minus 1. Or also it can be calculated this H, this way, H equals small h into 12.6. This will give you the water head. And once you so now you know what is G equals 9.81, the value. And H value you can calculate by multiplying 12.6 with the small h. What is the small h? This is, the small h is the difference of, what is that, monometric head, that is H1 and H2. If you multiply these two, you get the water head, that is H. And at last, ultimate aim of carrying out this experiment is to find out the coefficient of discharge. So that we can calculate by knowing the Q actual and Q theoretical. Hope you understood. So these are the formulae that we require to find out the coefficient of discharge. I repeat it once again now. Here what we are, so in this we shall move towards this experimental setup. So this is the one venturimeter. Here what you have to do, you have to switch on the plug, just plugging, switch on the motor, centrifugal pump, and once the water rushes through this one, so it enters through this throat area. Before that, what is the amount of water which is entered in this one? We come to know by this rotometer. This is the one where you can, as I told you, that you can fix the quantity of matter how much ever you want. Okay, it might, so you are supposed to, if you are willing to carry out this experiment for 3 to 4 days, you can start up with the 20 LPM, 30, 40, 50. So allowing 20 liters per minute, that is LPM, liters per minute of water, and which flows through this, and the water at last it will be discharged in this collecting tank. As I told you earlier that for this collecting tank there is a scale is fixed attached to this, and in this, and once the water rushes in this one, we have a manometer over here. So due to that difference in pressure, which leads to the change in head of that H1 and H2. So either one side it goes down, and on the other side the H1 and H2 difference will be there. Okay, so that H1 and H2 difference will give you H, that is manometric head, and the water which is collected in this collecting area, what we have to do. So once the water enters into this, someone has to, what is that, hold the digital what is that timer, and you need to note down the time taken rise for the rise of 10 centimeter water level, and similarly you can carry out the same experiment for different readings. Hope you understood. So this is the main switch. The manometric head, as I told you, this difference in H1 and H2 will give you a small h, that manometric head. This one reading will take, and the time taken rise of water level, this we take it, and R as in the Q actual, as I told you, that A into R by T, that is Q actual, that is A is the area of this collecting tank, and the R is the rise in water level for 10 centimeter, and T divided by T will give you the time taken for the rise of water level, that will give you the Q actual. And by knowing the two diameters of that what is that this venturimeter D1 and D2, and so you can find out the area A1 and A2. Here Q and A1 A2 and the square root of 2GH. That H is the water at level, and that capital H equals small h into 12.6. If you multiply, you get the capital H, that is water head, and that you can substitute in the equation, that is Q theoretical. What is the equation of Q theoretical? Q theoretical equals A1 into under square root of 2GH by under square root of A1 square and A2 square. If you once you find out the A1 and A2, you can Q theoretical and Q actual, you can find out the coefficient of decision. Hope you understood. So any queries or any interaction, if you would like to interact with me, then feel free to discuss with me once I upload this video for you. Thank you.